Is it okay to take risks? It's a question. It's rhetorical, of course. Is it okay to take risks? Matthew 25, verse 14 to 30. I'm going to read this from the Message translation. Matthew 25, 14 to 30. Because the Message translation really puts this story in the most interesting way possible. The Message translation, I'm going to read Matthew 25, 14 to 30. So this is a parable of the kingdom. And in the Message translation, they call it the story about investment. In the King James Version, it's called the parable of talents. It's also like a man going off on an extended trip. He called his servants together and delegated responsibilities. To one, he gave $5,000. To another, $2,000. To a third, $1,000, depending on their abilities. Then he left. Right off, the first servant went to work and doubled his master's investment. The second did the same. But the man with the single $1,000 dug a hole and carefully buried his master's money. After a long absence, the master of those three servants came back and settled up with them. The one given $5,000 showed him how he had doubled his investment. His master commended him. Good work. You did your job well. From now on, be my partner. The servant with the $2,000 showed how he also had doubled his master's investment. His master commended him. Good work. You did your job well. From now on, be my partner. The servant given $1,000 said, Master, I know you have high standards and hate careless ways, that you demand the best and make no allowances for error. I was afraid I might disappoint you, so I found a good hiding place and secured your money. Here it is, safe and sound, down to the last cent. The master was furious. That's a terrible way to live. It's criminal to live cautiously like that. If you knew I was after the best, why did you do less than the least? The least you could have done would have been to invest the sum with the bankers, where at least I would have gotten a little interest. Take the $1,000 and give it to the one who risked the most, and get rid of this play it safe, who won't go out on a limb. Throw him out into utter darkness. Now I've heard this parable many times. I've heard it taught in many different ways. But the true essence of this parable was when God, as the master, gives his investment to the people who would be us, his servants, he expects us to take a chance and step out and do something with it. And anybody who's ever been a part of an investment, there's a probability you can lose. Like, you don't get a guaranteed investment. There's a chance you might try and it might work. And the master was like, look, I'd rather you take this and take a chance than you hide it and give me back exactly what I gave you. So God actually says here that taking risk is part of God's kingdom. In this parable of the kingdom, the king expected them to go take a risk. He's like, I gave you this. Take a chance. Make something out of it. Because the guy who did not take any risks, the guy who played it safe and hid the money, he was actually mad at the man. Now to some of us, we'd have been like, why mad at the man? Give me back what you gave him. He's like, well, I would have kept it if I didn't want any returns. There's a point why I give you something. I want you to go do something with it. Invest it. Calculated risks are important to executing God's will for your life. Calculated risks are important to executing God's will for your life. One of the things that happens when God gives you His plan for your life is that you will have to take some risks. It's not going to always be simple and easy. It's not going to always be straightforward. It's not going to always be the path of least resistance. Sometimes what He asks you to do means you're going to have to take a risk. You won't get far if you only play it safe. And that's one of the most interesting things you will learn about the kingdom of God. Many of us, we wouldn't take a chance even if God Himself said it'll work out. Because we're like, nah, I don't know what's going to happen. I want to stay right here and play in the shallow, play in the sand for as much as I can, and hey, just watch everybody else. Take a chance, because at least I know I won't lose. I'll be playing not to lose instead of playing to win. And after all that God has done for all of us, He does not want us to play not to lose. He doesn't want us to just stay scared. Well, you know what? If I don't step out, then at least I know I won't get hurt. Or at least I know I won't lose. I'm going to be safe right here. I'm just going to stay here and hide. And that's something I've learned growing up, you know? Many times you've been taught, here's a box. Go in that box. Stay in the box. You'll be safe in that box. If you look over the edges, you don't want to look out there, because out there is really scary. You just stay in that box and you'll be happy.